Crosswind landings. These two words can send a shiver down the spine of even the most seasoned pilot. Why? Because landing an airplane in a crosswind is one of the most challenging maneuvers in aviation. It demands precision, timing, and a deep understanding of how the wind affects an aircraft. Imagine this: you're on final approach, lined up perfectly with the runway. Suddenly, a gust of wind hits your aircraft from the side, pushing you off course. What do? Panic? Absolutely not. This is where your training kicks in. Mastering crosswind landings is not just about avoiding a bumpy touchdown, it's about maintaining complete control of your aircraft in challenging conditions. It's about safety, skill, and the confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever the wind throws your way. One technique for tackling crosswinds is the crab method. Imagine a crab walking sideways along the ocean floor. That's essentially what your airplane does in the air when you use this method. You point the aircraft's nose into the wind, effectively crabbing sideways to maintain a straight track towards the runway. Here's how it works. As the crosswind pushes you off course, you apply rudder to point the nose into the wind. This counteracts the wind's sideways force, keeping you aligned with the runway centerline. From the ground, it looks like you're flying sideways. However, you can't land with the nose pointed sideways. Just before touchdown, you need to straighten out. This is where timing is crucial. You smoothly release the rudder and use ailerons to align the aircraft with the runway at the last moment. The wing-low method, as the name suggests, involves lowering the wing into the wind. This creates more lift on the windward side of the aircraft, counteracting the wind's force and keeping you over the runway centerline. Here's the technique. As you approach the runway, lower the wing into the wind using aileron control. Simultaneously, apply opposite rudder to prevent the nose from yawing in the direction of the lowered wing. This coordinated use of aileron and rudder keeps you both aligned with the runway and flying straight through the air. The wing-low method requires a bit more finesse than the crab method, but it provides a smoother touchdown in strong crosswinds. The key is to make small, controlled adjustments, constantly monitoring your position relative to the runway centerline. Section 4. Why Crosswind Mastery Matters, Safety and Certification. Mastering crosswind landings is not just about looking cool on the runway. It's a fundamental skill that can mean the difference between a safe landing and a potential incident. Strong, gusty winds are common, especially at smaller airports. Furthermore, your ability to handle crosswinds will be rigorously tested during your pilot certification exams. The examiner will want to see that you can maintain control of the aircraft and execute a safe landing even in challenging wind conditions. Remember, a pilot's license is not simply a certificate to fly. It's a testament to your skill, knowledge, and ability to handle an aircraft safely in a variety of situations, and that includes those blustery days when the wind decides to have a mind of its own. Section 5. Navigating the Skies, VFR versus IFR. Beyond the thrill of takeoffs and the challenge of landings lies the vast expanse of the sky, your aerial highway. To navigate this highway safely and efficiently, you need to understand the rules of the road, or rather, the rules of the air. This is where we delve into the world of visual flight rules, or VFR, and instrument flight rules, IFR. VFR is like driving your car on a clear, sunny day. You use your eyes to see and avoid other aircraft, terrain, and obstacles. You rely on visual cues and your judgment to maintain safe separation and navigate your route. Section 6. Advanced Crosswind Techniques. In this chapter, we will explore advanced techniques for handling crosswinds, including the use of flaps, power adjustments, and advanced rudder control. These techniques are essential for pilots who want to master crosswind landings in even the most challenging conditions. We will also discuss the importance of practice and how to safely simulate crosswind conditions during training flights. Handling crosswinds can be one of the most demanding aspects of flying. It's not just about keeping the aircraft on the runway, it's about understanding how to manipulate every control surface to counteract the wind's effects. First, let's talk about the use of flaps. Flaps can help increase lift at lower speeds, but they also increase drag. Knowing when and how much to deploy them can make a significant difference in your crosswind approach. Next, power adjustments. Managing your throttle correctly can help you maintain the right approach speed and angle. Too much power, and you risk overshooting the runway. Too little, and you might not make it to the runway at all. Finally, advanced rudder control. The rudder is your best friend in a crosswind landing. It helps you align the aircraft with the runway while managing the sideways drift caused by the wind. Practice is key. Simulating crosswind conditions during training flights can help you develop the muscle memory and confidence needed to handle real-world scenarios. Use flight simulators or practice with an instructor to safely experience and learn from these conditions. By mastering these advanced crosswind techniques, you can enhance your skills and become a more proficient and confident pilot. For more in-depth training, check out SkyPrep's online aviation course at skyprepacademy.com. Section 7, Real-World Crosswind Landing Scenarios. In this chapter, we will analyze real-world crosswind landing scenarios, including case studies of successful and unsuccessful landings. We will discuss what went right, what went wrong, and what can be learned from these experiences. This chapter aims to provide practical insights and lessons that can be applied to your own flying. Let's start with a successful crosswind landing case study. In this example, the pilot faced a 20-knot crosswind while approaching a short runway. By skillfully using a combination of flaps, precise power adjustments, and advanced rudder control, the pilot managed to land the aircraft safely and smoothly. The key to this successful landing was the pilot's ability to anticipate the wind's effects and make real-time adjustments to keep the aircraft aligned with the runway. Now, let's examine an unsuccessful landing attempt. In this scenario, the pilot underestimated the strength of the crosswind and failed to make the necessary power adjustments. As a result, the aircraft drifted off course and touched down hard on the runway, causing damage to the landing gear. This incident highlights the importance of proper crosswind assessment and the need to be prepared to go around if the approach is not stable. By analyzing these real-world scenarios, we can identify common pitfalls and best practices for handling crosswind landings. Remember, every landing is a learning opportunity. By studying both successful and unsuccessful landings, you can gain valuable insights that will help you become a more proficient and confident pilot. Practice, preparation, and continuous learning are the keys to mastering crosswind landings. Incorporate these lessons into your training, and don't be afraid to seek feedback from experienced pilots and instructors. With time and dedication, you can develop the skills needed to handle even the most challenging crosswind conditions. Thank you for watching, and happy flying. Section 8, Crosswind Landing Tips from Experienced Pilots. In this chapter we will hear from experienced pilots who have mastered crosswind landings. These seasoned aviators will share their tips, tricks, and best practices for handling crosswinds. This chapter aims to provide valuable insights and advice from those who have been there and done that, helping you to enhance your own flying skills. First, let's hear from Captain John, a commercial airline pilot with over 20 years of experience. When dealing with crosswinds, anticipation is key. Always keep an eye on the windsock as you approach the runway. It gives you real-time information about wind direction and strength. Adjust your approach accordingly and be ready to make quick corrections. Next, we have Captain Sarah, a flight instructor with thousands of hours in various aircraft. One of my top tips is to practice crosswind landings in a simulator. This allows you to experience different wind conditions without the risk. Focus on your rudder control and aileron inputs. Remember, it's all about keeping the aircraft aligned with the runway. Captain Mike, a retired military pilot, shares his wisdom. Don't be afraid to go around if things don't look or feel right. A stable approach is crucial. If you're not stable, execute a go-around and set up for another attempt. There's no shame in prioritizing safety. Finally, Captain Emily, a bush pilot with extensive experience in remote and challenging environments, offers her perspective. In gusty conditions, use a slightly higher approach speed. This helps maintain control and reduces the risk of stalling. Also, be prepared for sudden changes in wind direction and strength. Stay calm and make smooth, controlled adjustments. By incorporating these tips and insights from experienced pilots into your training, you can build confidence and proficiency in handling crosswind landings. Remember, every flight is an opportunity to learn and improve. Keep practicing, stay prepared, and always prioritize safety. Thank you for watching and happy flying.